All right. So yeah, so we our
Power to unmute, hooray.
yes,
It's Oberlin unmuted.
wonderful. All right, we'd love to hear about your program. So it's my understanding you're going to present for a few minutes and then you'll open the floor for questions.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay, let's
Well,
let's do that if that
So
works.
we are Oberlin, yay, ID. And I'm Krista Rakish, and this is my colleague Jonathan Moyer.
I
And we're currently in my studio. You can kind of see a little clavichord there in the background, and there's also a Flentrop organ in here. This is where we do some of our teaching, although most of it is done on the concert instruments. We have organs here by Fisk in a French Cavaillé style, by Flantrop in a North German slash Dutch style, by Brumbau in a 17th slash 16th century North German, Northern Europe style in mean tone, a Spanish organ, 16th century style by Greg Harold, and a Zilbermann copy in another yet another building by George Bozeman. So it's a wonderful collection of instruments. In addition to the concert instruments, we have some 30 practice organs that are available to students. There was in the past, for a while, we ran an ad in the AGO magazine saying 32 organs, no waiting, which I thought was quite a good ad. We are strictly an undergraduate school, which has major advantages in 18 to 22-year-olds getting to live amongst their own and grow up in a very mutually supportive environment. Um, so organ major, we also have harpsichord, clavichord, early music program, as well as, a big piano department, voice department, jazz department, choral department. So there's a lot of room for self-discovery here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just greetings, everybody. Just to add to that, thank you, Krista. It is an exclusively undergraduate environment, so it can be a really stimulating time for our undergraduates because a lot of opportunities for performance with ensembles, with chamber music, and anytime there's an organist that's needed for a choir or an orchestra, they call on an
Oh.
undergraduate to do it. So it's a great advantage here. It's a beautiful part of the world, Ohio. It's just enjoying a beautiful fall season, as I know many other places are. But it's
Not far from Lake Erie.
not far from
Yeah.
Lake Erie. We enjoy a lot of collaborations with other artists from around the world. In just a few weeks, we're having Peter Vesterbrink from the Netherlands will be here for master classes and a concert. And we regularly bring in organists for concerts and master classes throughout the year. Our lessons generally take place on the concert instruments, so it's a great advantage there. And you just have such a grand diversity of instruments to reflect the repertoire that you want to play. So happy to entertain any questions that you might have about our program.
Maybe one of the things that makes us unique is our winter term. The whole month
Yeah.
of January is devoted to individual projects. There are no official classes held in January, but students go and follow their own pursuits, whatever they may be. And we have had winter term programs in Paris where students have studied with oh,
Uh,
Christophe Manteau,
yeah.
Aude Ertemat,
Jean-Baptiste Robin,
um,
down south to Louis Robillard.
yes, yes. And Sophie Véronique Chopin.
Yeah, yeah,
She was my
yeah.
favorite. And have seen organs like Saint-Sulpice and others, of course, in Paris. You can't walk too far without stumbling over a Cavaillé call.
Yeah.
So, and also we've done several winter term projects in Germany, usually in the area around Dresden, which we do in combination with the voice department.
What?
And
Yeah.
students have gotten to play on Silbermann organs in the area. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity.
We'll be doing that this year, taking about 15 students to Dresden for 3 weeks for German study and visiting organs in the region. So
Oberlin is also perhaps best known for its double degree programs. We have a lot of organ majors who also major in history or computer science or religion or English or French or German or any number of other subjects. And to be able to graduate in 5 years with both a Bachelor of Music and a Bachelor of Arts in some other subject is a unique advantage, I think, to Oberlin.
Just to follow up really quickly on that, and I want to give a chance for a couple other folks to ask questions as well. But what's the typical schedule like, both for like someone who's getting a bachelor's of music in organ performance, but then also for someone who's doing one of those dual degree programs? Is it like a semester with music, a semester with something else, or does it mix together? How does that work?
Most semesters combine both degree programs, and you'll be taking courses in the college as well as courses in the conservatory, taking lessons as well as determining a more narrow focus for your major in the college. There may be a semester or two where, if you're doing, say, a capstone project or something like that, where you may want to cut back on lessons for a short time, probably not less than a semester, in order to focus on your college degree. And likewise, if there's something really special going on here, Bernhard Klapproth was here from Weimar for a full week and a half. And if there's like a super high charged organ project going on like that, then you may want to let up on some of your college studies for that period of time. So it's really pretty flexible, and as the student determines, they can pretty much decide where they need their focus to be at any given time.
Yeah, I would say that things are integrated well between the college and the con.
It's great.
And in the first 2 years of an undergraduate study, there's a lot of core requirements that you're taking, from music theory to oral skills and musicology. But as you move into your third, fourth, and even fifth year, then the scheduling opens up for a lot of secondary lessons and other elective pursuits that you would like to do.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions from folks?
Brody?
Can't hear you, Brody. Mm,
You could also drop it in the chat if you open your chat window.
yeah, still not getting. We lost audio from Brody.
Yeah, it looks like he's putting it in the chat, I bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if anyone else wants to drop questions in the chat too at any time, I'm happy to kind of monitor that and be an extra set of eyes. All right, do we offer any scholarships?
Oh, we sure do.
Oberlin is unique in that it's a need-based scholarship base. So the college and the conservatory make a commitment to meet financial need of every student. And that's based on your FAFSA application and your overall kind of financial outlook. There's a lot of financial counseling that goes into it. There are also merit scholarships that go into the final package, financial aid package that is catered to each student. But it's a generous, but also I think a very fair program as it looks at each family's unique financial outlook.
It's a core part of the Oberlin philosophy that no student is turned away because they can't afford it. That it's like, we don't do that. If we make it affordable.
Great. Sam's got a question, and then we can hear from University of Houston.
Are there any plans to expand the collection of organs to over 50 or over 40?
Over 50. Well, maybe we can get over 40 first.
Okay.
I mean, we are in a unique position that we tend to be a kind of, well, it sounds negative, a dumping ground. We get lots of offers of organs.
A lot of people would like to give us organs, and we turn them down.
So eventually you start running out of space for them. But we're very thankful for the instruments that we have. Right now, there are more organs than we have organ students. So there's never a problem to find an instrument in town.
Yeah.
But we are always looking in ways to expand the collection, to expand existing instruments, We're looking into a renovation right now of the large Flentrop organ and potentially expanding its pedal division. And as you know, as creative minds get together, sometimes
Brilliant,
organs,
brilliant
yeah,
ideas
brilliant ideas emerge, and
Yes.
new organs wind up in everyone.
Opposed to expanding the collection, but it's really not a question of quantity.
Absolutely.
We have
Yeah.
really good organs here, and we're very proud of that.
Thank you.
One last quick question to kind of go off of that is uh, a question about organs in practice rooms. And
Yeah.
what kinds of organs do you have in practice rooms? And I guess my follow-up would be like, are those distinct from organs in other spaces, or do other spaces become practice rooms?
We have a whole building dedicated to practice rooms. There are 3 floors of instruments and rooms, and in the center of that is what's called the Kulas Organ Center, and there are 2 floors. I believe there are 12 instruments in that particular location. And those are largely 2 manual organs. There's 5 or 6 Flentrop practice organs. There's 2 by Nowak. There is one with a swell box and a few pistons. They're all in varying temperaments. So you have access to a variety of styles, some with short octave, and so temperaments and kind of keyboard dimensions for older repertory, and then some instruments that reflect that are good for modern music, with from concave and radiating pedal boards to flat pedal boards. These all reflect the kinds of things that you would then experience on the large concert instruments. But I will say that all of our students have ample access to the concert instruments as well for practice. So easily up to 5 hours per week that they can request on a specific organ. And it's actually we actually expect it. If they're going to have a lesson in Finney Chapel in the Fisk organ, then they would need to arrange practice time before that lesson on that organ.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Oh,
All
and a
right.
pedal clavichord.
And a pedal clavichord. Well, many clavichords, but also a 2 manual and pedal clavichord,
Yeah.
which is very interesting to practice on.
Wonderful. All right. So thank you so much. Let's turn now to the University of Houston.
Hey, I'm going to share my screen. Is that working I'll try to put this in slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Are you all able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. Brilliant. So, greetings. I'm Daryl Robinson from the University of Houston. I'm the sole full-time organ faculty member at the university, although my colleague Matthew Durst is a really brilliant organist and harpsichordist and chair of our musicology program. So we have a lot of organ focus at U of H. And let me figure out how to make sure. There we go. Perfect. Just a few quick facts about the University of Houston. It is a Tier 1 public research university in the 4th largest city in the US. And we have really one of the most diverse student populations of any university across the world, frankly. And currently, we're a little over this number now. These statistics are from fall 2024. And so we're closer right now to 49,000 students on campus in this university. But the Moore School of Music and the College of the Arts is like a conservatory within this very large public university. And so the School of Music, we usually have about 450 students on average in the School of Music, and the College of the Arts is maybe double that. So we have a college that includes visual art and theater and dance, musical theater, and other technology related to the arts, and also development and entrepreneurship, arts related courses and programs. So it's a really fantastic kind of integration and synthesis of arts programming at the University of Houston. These are just a few of our performance spaces on campus, the Moore's Opera House, and that. I have been at U of H now for 7 years, going into my 8th year at U of H, and just some highlights of the program here in front of you. Over on the far left, a masterclass we did with Daniel Roth here in Houston back in 2018, I believe, and some of our studio recitals, Jess Eschbach, Doug Cleveland. We've recently had Kimberly Marshall here. Anna Lapwood down on the bottom right did a masterclass for a couple of our students. And so every semester we're bringing in guest artists from around the world, really, to be able to present master classes and to present lessons as well with our students. So we try to go beyond just master classes and give students opportunity to take a one-on-one coaching with people when they're here. So we're a small studio. We have a cap of 6 students here at the University of Houston, which really allows our funding to go very far and also access to instruments. And it really builds a very tight-knit, close community of people. They all go out together after studio. And historically, U of H has been a predominantly graduate program. And I can talk a little more about why that has been that way. So our master's and doctoral program is really the largest program. But now that we have some on-campus practice facilities that are really worthy of students who live on campus being able to use, I hope to continue to grow our undergraduate population, but we've been predominantly a graduate program. And I'm very happy to say that since 2018, all of our graduates have been placed into full-time jobs out of our program or gone on to graduate study at another university. So I think that that's something that our program is very proud of, and want to always emphasize that the experience while in school is fantastic, but I want to make sure that we're placing people into the world in jobs. We have teaching assistantships available in the areas of organ musicology and theory that are available for graduate students. Internships, all of our current students have church positions while they're students. Those are generally pay quite well in addition to whatever scholarship opportunities someone has been awarded at the university. And all of our organ majors are on scholarship of some sort. Most of them are on a full ride at U of H. Some of our DMA students who have full-time jobs already, for example, are on partial scholarships, but everybody receives some sort of scholarship funding. So it's not a loan that you have to pay back. This is indeed just a scholarship from the University of Houston, either based on your academic or your performance audition. We have a really incredibly strong choral program. We've just hired a new choral director, Tony Maglione. And so we do a lot of collaboration with sacred music and the choral area. And I think one of the really unique things is that all of our organ majors have the opportunity to take applied choral conducting. So not just being in a class, a group class, learning how to do conducting, but actually taking one-on-one lessons with our choral faculty and getting some podium time with some of our ensembles. And we do focus on sacred music skills and choral conducting every single semester here at all levels, whether you're an undergrad or a doctoral student. All right, really quickly, our practice facilities, none of these existed when I arrived 8 years ago. And so I'm happy to say that we're on the second floor of a very nice building, and all of our practice rooms have windows, which is always a good selling point to see natural light and what the weather is. Over on the left, you'll see an instrument by Martin Pazzi that lives in a studio that is available 24/7. So these are only reserved by organ majors. In the middle, our most recent instrument, CB Fisk instrument, 3 manuals there, and then an instrument by Wall Organ Builders out of Wisconsin over on the far right. In addition to that, those 3 instruments that are all in rooms side by side, so we have a little sort of organ enclave there. Then aside from that, we have 2 instruments by Reuter on campus. We have a continual organ and then 3 harpsichords, 2 by John Phillips, and are really spectacular instruments that are available, again, 24/7 in rooms that are only reserved for organ majors. We do not have a major recital instrument on our campus, but we are blessed in the city of Houston to have a really wide range of instruments available. So we're able to partner with churches to present recitals off campus, both degree recitals, studio recitals, any number of other events. And that really does give people access to kind of tailor, we have a Hildebrandt copy at Christ the King that we use. We have a 2 manual instrument by Martin Pazzi that we're doing a studio recital on, in addition to a single manual Italian Renaissance style instrument in mean tone. And then next semester, we'll be doing a studio recital over at St. John the Divine on a 5 manual Laterno on 140 ranks. So really spanning all of these opportunities and learning how to adapt to a variety of different kinds of instruments. We've also found that this is really beneficial because it helps deepen our relationships with local churches and to build audience to get people to come to our studio and student recitals. So it's really fantastic, and it helps students prepare for competitions that are always on often a different variety of instruments. So these are just a few of the instruments that we use regularly. St. Philip Presbyterian, the instrument by Paul Fritz, 3 manuals. St. John Divine, as I mentioned. Oh, sorry, it's only 144 ranks, not 160. But a very large instrument. A Chantz instrument at St. Paul's United Methodist, where I serve as director of music and organist. And the Pazzi instrument I was mentioning here that is really wonderful. And then just a couple of student highlights. These are all current or recent DMA students. Victoria won second prize in NIACOP last summer. Was one of the 20 under 30 in the Diapason magazine and now has a full-time job in Montgomery, Alabama. She'll be finishing up her DMA a little bit later this year. Matt Dion is a graduate of Oberlin and did his master's with me and stayed on for his doctorate and is currently director of music full-time over at St. Francis Episcopal Church here and represented by Concert Artists Cooperative. G.A. Quack is a new student here at U of H. She did her master's at Eastman and was just a semifinalist in the 2025 organ competition in Russia. Yoon Young graduated earlier this year and has a full-time job as associate director of music at A&M United Methodist Church in College Station. And Alex Jones, another grad of Eastman who came here for his DMA, is now full-time director of music and liturgy at St. Paul's in Milwaukee and got third prize in the 2022 Elizabeth Stevens. J.J. Mitchell, now up in Virginia full-time, won the Grunstein Award from the Diapason magazine, which is for his research on Puget organs. He was a Fulbright scholar and got interrupted during COVID, unfortunately, and a couple of competition placements for him there. And that's pretty much it for my presentation. These are, again, just more of our fun studio photos, and you can learn more about the program by going to our website, uh.edu/organ music. And there's some videos on there of student performances and from myself.
Great, thank you so much. I have reconfigured our timing. So if we have time for maybe one question about University of Houston, and then we'll move on to, I think CUA is our next presenter. Yes, CUA. But I'm bold to say that presenters will likely be available via email for questions that we're not able to get to after this. Anybody have one question they want to throw out there? All right, if not, let's hear from our friends. Are the organs bigger in Texas too?
Yes, and the congregations and choirs. Yeah, I mean, it's still a very active church and sacred music community here, and there's always a new organ somewhere in the city. It's wonderful.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right, just down the road from me, Catholic University of America.
Hello, everyone. Are the slides showing?
See, could you come a little closer to your mic?
Yep.
We can hear you.
Yep,
There you go.
A little bit better. Great.
Yes, so much better.
Slide showing. Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be with you. I'm head of sacred music and choral activities at Catholic University, and I'm joined by my colleague Ronald Stolk here and Benjamin the Prairie as well. So happy to talk about our program at Catholic University. We're one of the nation's oldest Catholic research universities, founded in 1887, and now we are a comprehensive R1 top-tier research university located in the heart of our nation's capital. Our sacred music area at the Benjamin T. Rome School of Music offers 2 graduate degrees in sacred music, a master's and a DMA, both with concentrations in organ performance and choral conducting. We also have a Bachelor of Arts with an organ performance emphasis for undergrad students. All of our students have the opportunity to work with our 7 faculty artists. Students also receive rigorous training in both organ performance and conducting. As a part of that, all the organ students take our conducting seminar and have the opportunity to conduct performances with our repertory chorus, which is a fully professional choir that draws singers from the professional singing scene here in Washington, D.C.
Excuse me, Peter. It's still quite hard to hear you. Is there any way to, kind of come closer to your mic?
Yeah, I'm gonna close. Is that better?
Yeah. It's very similar.
How about this?
That's much better. Yes.
That's better. Okay, I'm gonna Ronald move over once I'm done. Sorry about that, everybody.
No, that's okay. Thanks.
Just a other program. We had the opportunity to work with international James some of his music this past spring for what up at Baltimore Basilica in the spring and a performance at Carnegie Durfle's Requiem. So very excited for all of that. We have wonderful alumni from our program that are out doing great work and holding significant positions, such as the St. Thomas More Cathedral in Virginia, Baltimore Basilica in Maryland, and also St. Mary of the Assumption Cathedral in Michigan and Cathedral of St. Bernard of Clairvaux in Wisconsin. A huge draw for our program is being in Washington, D.C. We really have one of the richest musical organizations and scenes here, which includes the National Symphony Orchestra, Washington Chorus, Washington Bach Consort, venues such as the Kennedy Center and Strathmore and Wolf Trap. And with over 8,000 religious organizations in the greater D.C. area, students have prominent access to places of worship such as the National Cathedral, National Presbyterian Church, and of course the Basilica of the National Shrine to the Immaculate Conception, which is basically on our campus across the street. So that's just a little overview of our program. I'm going to turn it over to Professor Benjamin LaPrairie now.
Hi, my name is Benjamin LaPrairie. I'm the Associate Director of Music at the National Shrine and have been teaching organ at COA since 2019. One of the really great things that I've enjoyed in that role at COA has been bringing students into the liturgical life of the National Shrine. And it's offered opportunities for them to play daily masses, to be involved in concerts, certainly to use the instruments at the shrine for lessons as well, and also to see kind of the behind the scenes from a very practical standpoint of how you plan for the liturgy, especially in a cathedral and pilgrimage type setting. We also have abundant opportunities in the area for sub work while they're in school, as well as many positions that tend to come open by the time they graduate. I have multiple students right now who are in director of music positions within the Metro DC area right now, and some on some very fine instruments. Another dimension of our program too, we do studio classes around the district at some of the landmark instruments. And so it's a great opportunity, not only to see the instruments at the National Shrine, but also to visit other fantastic instruments around the district, hear the other students play as well.
Thank you, Professor LaPrairie. I'm going to turn it over to Professor Stoll now.
Hello, I'm Ronald Stoll. I've been teaching at COA since 2011. And I'm also director of music of St. Patrick Church, oldest Catholic parish in the federal city. I hail from the Netherlands, did my studies at the Royal Conservatory in The Hague, and studied in Paris later with the Jean-Lambert Gaston Thèse. I've lived in this country for 40 years now, but have kept up with the European organ and church music scene. So not all of that, of course, is relevant for us here, but there are always surprises. The other thing I bring in is I have always loved to improvise. A long time ago, won a few prizes in that area, but the important thing is that I believe that it is important, especially in the liturgy. I believe it can be taught, and I am happy to teach it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We have a few minutes here for any questions, possibly.
Yeah, I think probably about like 90 seconds for questions. Michelle just texted me. We do have a little bit of padding at the end, but I do want to make sure everybody gets their time. So let's see. Samuel, and I can't necessarily, I'm flipping back and forth between different screens. So if someone has a question, yeah, I would say either drop it in the chat or just unmute and go for it. Samuel, yes.
Hello, thank you for doing this. I'm very fascinated with learning carillon, and I know that the National Shrine does have a carillon. Do students at CUA have any access to carillon related activities?
Yes, actually, the three of us on staff at the shrine do not play the carillon, but we have a number of the members of the Guild of Carillonneurs who play on Sundays for us, and many of them do teach. And we have a practice carillon, actually a set of Verdun tubular chimes with an identical console in the level below the actual playing cage of the carillon. So that is available to students who are practicing, who want to come in on a weekday, try it out without actually trying out the carillon upstairs. But yeah, to answer your question, that is very much available.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, let's hear from the University of Florida.
Okay, hopefully you got that. Can everybody see that? I'll put it in a slideshow now.
Yeah, looks great.
Yeah, is that working? Okay, so just a little bit about the University of Florida. Oh, it's not going to go. There we go. So this is the current studio. So we have a wonderful group of students that I enjoy working with. And for me, really, it's the interaction with the students that I find the most exciting thing. We are in Florida, so it's kind of a beautiful place to be. So we do have some of the pine trees, all of that sort of stuff. It's sort of fun. You will run into gators. It is a possibility. However, most of the gators you'll have will be either at a statue or some of the students that will be there. I'm Laura Ellis. I've been here for over 20 years now. I went to University of Kansas and did my undergrad at Luther College. So that's just a little background for me. The main performance instrument we have is in our main auditorium, which is a 99 rank instrument that actually is celebrating its centennial this year. So parts of it date from 1925 with Skinner pipes. We did have a nice tonal renovation in 2015, so that's nice. On campus here, we have an organ studio and a couple small little trackers. So certainly enough to get you around what you need to practice and learn notes. In town, there is a nice FISC at First Presbyterian downtown, and we have a Visser Roland at the Episcopal Church downtown. So those are available, and students can have access to that. We do, in answer to Samuel's question, we do have a 61 bell carillon too. We just replaced the clappers, so those is an old picture of clappers, but we do have that, so that's available for students. And I teach the carillon as well, so I do both the organ and carillon here. As far as what we do in the studio, pipe organ demonstrations, it's pretty big. Being a big state institution, we've got 50,000 students on campus, 55,000. A lot of people know nothing about the organ. So one of the important things we do is just try to bring organ to the students with different classes. And then we do demonstrations each semester that's open to the public and the student body. What has turned into a big thing is our annual Halloween recital. I'm not a big Halloween person, but it's turned out to be a big thing, and we pack the house. And we have both the organ and carillon involved in that. We did a little riff on Rear Window movie last semester, which was kind of fun. It was an anniversary of Rear Window, but that's kind of fun. We have fun with that. Of course, like everybody, we do studio recitals and off-campus recitals. I came across this picture I thought that was fun, of everybody bowing. That was kind of fun. But we do off-campus programs to get to know the community. Mostly the off-campus recitals are here in the state of Florida, where we might go and play different recitals. And then something that I think is really pretty fun is I try to do each semester organ crawls to different areas. So we've been to Atlanta, went to Savannah, Orlando. One of my students just had a job in Orlando, so we went to visit him. So that was a lot of fun. We took a trip last year to Jacksonville to see what was over there. Degree opportunities, we've talked a little bit. Everybody's talked about that. We do have the sort of full board of what you would need on the undergraduate level. I think maybe our most unique degree is a Bachelor of Music in combination with an outside field, which in some ways gets close to a double major, but this is a lot of people who are pre-med, pre-law. And so I would say probably most of the students in the studio, we get performance majors, but the bulk of the students in the studios really have an interest in an outside field. It might be linguistics, it might be pre-med, dentistry, whatever it might be. And so there's a lot of diversity in our studio, which I think is fun, is really fun. And performance certificates, sort of what you can see there. We've got some deadlines, we've got some early decision things. That's just in case anybody's interested, really interested. There you go, you've got the information there. On the graduate level, we do have a master's program and a DMA. The unique thing with our DMA is it requires a cognate outside of music, trying to get you prepared for what life is like these days, really having to do things outside your comfort zone. So that's part of the degree program. Where are they now? Like everybody, we've got some great graduates. This was a picture that we took when we had a little alumni dinner out at San Francisco. And so all I would say is you're welcome here as a performance major, or if it's just sort of something you really want to explore what organ can be like at a big research institution, we'd be happy to have you join us. Probably would be good to like athletics. We're in a big SEC school. I have my, gator wear on. So it does become kind of part of what we're all about here at the University of Florida with athletics. So if you're somebody like me that enjoys music and athletics, it's a good place to be. So there you go.
Thank you so much. Any questions for Laura? So one of the things that I think can be interesting about learning the organ, especially like at the undergrad level, perhaps with folks who haven't had a ton of professional experience, is kind of the marriage of or the tension between sometimes learning the organ and also kind of gaining either church music experience or learning about the different parts of playing in a church, since that is such a big, or it can be such a big part of organ performance later on. I'm wondering what kinds of either opportunities or occasions there are for students to either take classes about church history, church music, kind of do internships. You mentioned connecting with alumni on organ crawls, but what, if any, kind of church history or liturgy study is possible alongside some of the organ lessons?
So it depends on the degree plan, of course, and what you can do and how you can fit it in. The University of Florida has pretty strict guidelines about how many hours people can take. So sometimes we get caught up with that. Though I teach in the sacred music area on the master's level, I have hymnody courses of sacred music lit, and I do occasionally cross-list those for undergrads. The last time I taught hymnody was, I guess, maybe a year and a half ago. Cross-listed, we had 9 or 10 people in it, and we actually did a hymn festival at the Lutheran church that's down the road. A number of my students have church positions, but I also have a Jewish student who is really not that interested in it. I've had composers, and so if it's your thing, we'll try and find you a place where you can do church work. But I think also partly for the future of our instrument, we need to explore how to make the organ relevant outside the church, and I think that's one thing that we try to do here as well. So
yeah, so interesting. Yeah, thank you so much. Well, and you mentioned sports.
Thank you.
You mentioned sports. My husband is constantly hoping that I'm going to play organ at a baseball game someday. Yeah.
Hey, gotta love it.
Yeah, expanding the places where you see it. No, thank you so much. All right, I really hope I do not just butcher this name. Gustavus Adolphus College.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me? Absolutely. Yeah, you did just fine. Gustavus is
Gustavus, got it.
usual way, Gustavus. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to try to figure out how to share the screen so that you can see what's happening here at Gustavus. Oh my gosh, I have so many options. Okay, I think I got it going. Oh, shoot. Unfortunately, it's asking me to do something with my settings.
Well,
Okay. That's all right.
okay. I bet you if you've got some materials to share, I mean, I'm speaking for Michelle at this point, but I would
Yeah.
imagine there is some way to share any materials that you might have, and this would go for anybody on the call,
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
participants afterwards.
Yeah, because it looks unfortunately okay, everyone. I have a lot of great images, but we'll just talk it through. So that's life. So it's been fun to hear from all of you so far and kind of hear about programs at large schools and small schools. And what I can offer you is a kind of glimpse at a school, a fairly small school out in what is technically rural Minnesota. So a little bit of an aspect of that. My name is Chad Winterfelt, and I've been teaching here at Gustavus for about 20 years now. This first screen I had on board was just to give kind of an information about what our college is. Gustavus is in terms of sports, it's a Division III school, but we've had national champions in women's hockey. So, there's always something for everyone. We're down here in St. Peter, Minnesota, which is about 65 miles southwest of the Twin Cities, which as a selling point to organ students, organ aficionados is, the Twin Cities is a great place for organ concerts, the organ life. And we have great access to get up there to hear concerts. But of course, we're also in a very rich area with several small liberal arts schools just nearby. We have in Mankato and New Ulm with some great instruments. And then even not that much farther away, you mentioned Luther College. That's 3 hours down the road, but also St. Olaf is over an hour just to the east of us. So we have about 1,800 undergraduate students. It's a full-time residential college with about 73 majors and minors. And now my next slide, I was really sad because I wanted to share because Jonathan and Krista mentioned, how beautiful it is in the fall. And we have this aerial photo of Gustavus in the fall. So just imagine it or imagine your own place with the great fall weather. One of the benefits of Gustavus as a place for studying music is we're a fairly small department. We have 10 full-time faculty and about 20 adjunct. But within the department itself, there are about 50 majors, a lot of music ed majors, and about 40 minors. As you can imagine, being one of the Lutheran schools in the region, we have a pretty strong emphasis on music. So in terms of performing opportunities at Gustavus, we have 4 choirs. The Gustavus Choir tours internationally. It's about a 65-member all voice, all part choir. We have 2 bands. We have 2 symphony orchestras, 2 jazz ensembles. And my favorite, because I happen to be the handbell conductor, are 3 handbell ensembles. So a lot of music going on. In terms of participation by the student body, I would say we have about 400 to 450 students who are involved directly with music, which is about a quarter of the student body. So pretty strong emphasis there. I'll just, since I can just speak out loud, I'll say, why study organ at Gustavus? And I can emphasize we have a small studio, but that averages about 6 students every semester, ranging from a couple of students who are initially beginners but have that fascination with the instrument, and then also people who are majoring. We have a couple of really fun instruments on campus. We have a 17 rank NOAC practice organ in our organ studio, lovely instrument. We have an 8 rank Von Dahlen for practice. And in Christ Chapel itself, that's kind of the big worship space in the center of campus. We have a 55 rank Hillgreen Lane from the 1960s that just has a great resonant sound in that space. I know some of you are within the academic community and know that we're on board to do some renovation of that Hillgreen Lane. And of course, it's all about who we can get to help us fund that. But that is on a project. I would say too, again, answering the question, why study organ at Gustavus? We do have an active worship community on campus. There are 2 worship services per week during the week and a Sunday worship service that students here are expected to kind of experience or learn by experience by playing for those services. But in the community itself, plenty of opportunities to be within a church and so forth. We also like to have fun and do some things. Everybody's mentioned, some of the trips to various, concerts and so forth. So we do take studio trips, not only just up to the Twin Cities, but we've gone as far as Madison, Wisconsin. But then we also go to our lovely local Mankato, where we can hear some of our colleagues at some of the other colleges that are in the area. Scholarships, if you are interested in the scholarship, we do have a big $25,000 per year merit scholarship that's competitive. And in addition to that, there's a $12,500 scholarship that is also a merit scholarship. So both of those require auditions and an on-campus visit. We also have a whole range of need-based scholarships. So anybody studying organ or music at Gustavus usually can find a way to pay for it. Trying to think if there's anything else aside from all my great photos. So sorry that didn't work, but that's life in the technological world. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Any questions from anyone? All right, well, if anything occurs to you later, definitely drop it in the chat, or we'll be able to reach out to folks later. And our last institution is Pacific Lutheran University.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello from the Pacific Northwest. My name is Justin Murphy Mancini, but you can call me Jay, or as they call me here in the music department, Dr. J. I'd love to talk to you a little bit about Pacific Lutheran University. So let me share my screen. I think that worked. So Pacific Lutheran University is a historically Lutheran university founded in 1890 by Norwegian Lutherans, and we still enjoy a lot of contact with Scandinavia. We are affiliated with the ELCA. PLU is a small liberal arts university comprised of 4 colleges, and in the College of Professional Studies, you find the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. We are a small, very undergraduate-focused institution. There are some graduate programs, but the music department is all undergraduates. This is a very diverse place. We are historically Lutheran, and Lutheranism is a very important part of our identity, but currently only about 7% of students identify as Lutheran. We have many students from different faith backgrounds, Catholic and Protestant and other faith traditions. We have a very diverse student body. Many people come here from Washington. Many people come here from down the street, but we have students from all over the country and all over the world. Go Lutes. Our mascot is a guy in a suit of armor, which is very funny. The Department of Music is one of the largest departments on campus. We, like Gustavus Adolphus, we get about a quarter of the student body or a little more involved in music every year. We have over 100 music majors and minors, making us one of the largest and strongest departments. As I said, we are an entirely undergraduate program and dedicated to highly personalized relationships with our students. I know most of my students in various classes, all by name. I know what instruments they play. I know what they're up to and what they're doing. We cultivate a very strong, close-knit community here in the music department. We have several degree programs I want to highlight. Of course, we offer a traditional conservatory level Bachelor of Music in Organ Performance. We also offer a strong Bachelor of Music Education degree. We have 2 degrees, BMA and a BA in music that involve a non-cognate cognate field, not in music. So if you have interest in other fields, this is almost a double major, but it involves and often involves synthesizing music and non-music fields. This year, we just started our BS, Bachelor of Science in Music Therapy. This is a new program for us and the only one in Washington State. As a Lutheran university, we have an extremely strong choral program. We have 5 different choral ensembles: trebles, basses, mixed choir, symphonic choir, orchestra, band. We have the whole complement. We also have a steel pan ensemble run by our percussion professor. Organ study at PLU goes back a very, very long time. I'm very grateful to know my predecessors here in Washington, Paul Tegels and David Dahl, who are responsible for our biggest, most hopefully most attractive feature, which is Paul Fritz Opus 18. His largest instrument when he built it. It's only been eclipsed by the instrument he built for Notre Dame. Students have their lessons weekly here and are assigned weekly practice time here in our concert hall, which does have a 4-second reverb. The organ is the thing that sounds best in our wonderful concert hall. We also have both mechanical action and electric action practice instruments, both on campus and at Trinity Lutheran Church, which is across the street from campus. We have weekly chapel services that give students an opportunity to build sacred music skills. And as a contemporary ELCA affiliated university, we are exploring and experimenting with different worship styles, which I think would prepare students to find leadership, ways to lead music in a variety of ways. Each year, we put on 4 guest organ performances on our recital series, bringing in top talent from around the world to come play this instrument in public performance. I know Jonathan has played here in the last decade or so. And this is, of course, a very rich community of organists. We try to cultivate a strong community here on campus, but the community of organists in the greater Puget Sound is very strong. We have instruments by many, many great builders. There are a lot of instruments by Paul Fritz because, of course, his shop is a mile from campus, and I see Paul almost every week, and it's easy to drop by the shop. We take students to the shop when new instruments are under construction. So I'm taking students over to see the instrument they're building for Holy Trinity Lutheran Church in Manhattan soon, because the case is nearly finished and they'll be putting pipes in. And as projects unfold, they can get direct experience and direct connections with the organ building process. Of course, we also have notable instruments in the area by Brumbaugh, by Flentrop, and by many other builders, right? And we regularly go up to Seattle, which is only about an hour away from here, an hour north, or to Olympia, which is even closer, to see a variety of instruments. PLU is not a cheap school. I don't think that any school is cheap anymore, but PLU has a very strong commitment to providing very generous financial aid, both need-based and merit-based artistic achievement scholarships, which of course are renewable throughout the entire time a student is here at PLU. And I've provided the sort of the audition date information. I've been here for a little over a year. This is a new position for me, and what I have found so far is that this is a very exciting community full of students who really care about supporting each other in their musical endeavors, who are trying to give each other opportunities, and who are excited to work with the faculty. I have great colleagues here. We are a tight-knit and very committed department in a liberal arts environment where students can explore their interests, deepen their faith, find new opportunities, and of course, there are plenty of open church positions. I get emails all the time. So there's no shortage of opportunities for students to find themselves, to find something new, to explore and reach their fullest potential. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, any questions for Jay?
I have a question. My name is Carrie Mashoff. I have a niece who is in her freshman year at PLU in studying the music therapy program that you talked about that just started. How has the organ been incorporated, or do you see using the organ in supporting that line of study within the college?
Yeah, so we're all really excited about the music therapy program. And currently, I teach ear training 1 with my colleague, Megumi Azekawa. And so we are already in a working collaborative relationship. And, we're just looking for the opportunity to meet together and dig deep and see what possibilities exist. She's a very talented multi-instrumentalist, and I'm already very excited about all the ideas that she has. She's really made a great splash here. Given that we've only been at school 6 weeks, the future, I would say, is wide open, and we're excited to figure out what that future looks like as the program grows. But have your niece say hi to me in the hall.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, so we've got a couple more minutes for questions, and I'm happy to just open it up to all of our presenters, or maybe to folks who are on who just have kind of general questions about studying the organ at the collegiate or graduate level in general. If you don't have any questions, you're welcome to head back to the main room. Michelle just sent that message saying that the rooms will close at 6:05 and we'll just wrap up for the day. But any final questions? Now is the time. Yes, Laura.
I would just like to say that this has been fun to see everyone, because we're all in different parts of the country and we don't know, what everybody else is doing. And this has been a lot of fun. And I would just say, I've been teaching for a long time, and I would say for people, the students that are considering where to go, find the place that makes your heart happy. Because if you find the right place, you're going to have a good time and you're really going to connect well with the faculty member. And, that was the advice that was given to me when I was looking at graduate schools. I told my voice teacher, I said, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And she said, you already know what to do. You already know where you want to go. Just do it. And so sometimes you just have to trust your heart and your gut and know it's the right place to be. So, so it's been great to see everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad that all of you could be here and joined us for today, and glad we're making lots of connections for the future.